Good afternoon, everybody. Hello, hello.
Get a little more.
Good to see you all. And some folks joining us on Zoom as well. It's good to see you as well. Hello, Bobby D. Let us get started. We have an action-packed day today. So if I could ask you all to rise and move this over. Pablo, if you wouldn't mind leading us in pledge. Move this over.
Good.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. And if you can remain standing, and Audrey, if you wouldn't mind leading us in the invocation today.
Let me know if you need the volume to go up anymore.
Will you please bow your heads with me?
Well,
Let us
she's
pray silently together for both Russia and Ukraine, our families, friends, and fellow Rotarians in those areas. And please pray silently according to our individual beliefs. Let us offer thanks for our food and the blessings of fellowship around us. Let us be a source of hope for those in need and contentment for those who are lonely. Let us give gratitude for our opportunity to serve Rotary. Let the feelings of love, kindness, and a well-directed yet gentle spirit always be reflected in our actions.
Thank you so much, Audrey. So if you could go ahead and please have a seat. Now you're gonna have to forgive me a little bit. I'm going to go a little bit out of order today. Like I mentioned, we have a lot of stuff going on, and so I'm sure you're all eager to know the news and summaries of the rodeo and all the activities happening there. So I promise we will get to that. But today I wanted to request a little bit for time, and we have a great speaker. Angie Lopez has visited us in the past, and so she is here to tell us a little bit about the Girl Scouts. And I'm going to have Bob Grady come up and introduce her. So please stay tuned for announcements, and I'd also like to recognize our visiting guests and Rotary. So please help me welcome Bob, who will introduce us to our speaker today.
oh, that's bad.
Yeah. Thank you. Well, Angie's actually no stranger to us. Hopefully, most of you remember she came and spoke with us along with Lance Meeks of Goodwill last May, I believe it was. And back then, Angie was a co-chair of NEED, which is Network for Equity and Education Development. It's one of our partners in our racial justice initiative. She worked for, at that time, leading into what she's doing now, she worked for for Pima County and focused on developing and implementing improvement strategies in the juvenile justice system. In other words, changing the lives of young people in need. I think we've heard that is our club's mission. So now Angie is the membership director of the Girl Scouts of Southern Arizona, where she continues to help change the lives of young people in need. There's obviously a pattern there. Angie's a devoted mother. She likes to hike, travel, and is a UA grad. We love you just right there. Bob Delaney and I have gotten to know Angie pretty well over the last couple of years with our work with me, and I'll tell you, we're just both very impressed by her intelligence, her drive, her leadership skills. In short, she's amazing. We're just thrilled to have you with us, and you're also being an amazing Rotarian, by the way, but that's a different conversation. So anyway, and if you see that there's a table over there with Girl Scout cookies and steal her thunder, she brought goodies. So without further ado, Angie Lopez.
Girl Scout cookies been around for a long
Pretty awesome introduction. I think you're up to amazing. So hopefully cookies will help you do that. Can you all hear me okay? Yeah? Okay. So again, I'm Angie Lopez. I'm the membership director at Girl Scouts of Southern Arizona. And what does that mean?
Yeah.
That means that I oversee all the teams that recruit girls and our volunteers, and that we help support all of our members. So currently, We're serving 5,200 members and 3,500 of those are girls. We spread out 7 different counties in southern Arizona: Pima, Pinal, Graham, Greenlee, Yuma, and Santa Cruz. That's 6, and Cochise, 7. So when I was thinking about what I would share with you today, I asked the other friend, Bob Delaney, what he thought I should focus on. And he encouraged me to think about my journey and what brought me to Girl Scouts. So I'll tell you a little bit about that. So like Bob mentioned, my career was in juvenile justice for 17 years, with the majority of those years spent on collaborating with community partners and folks that were interested in rethinking the way we do juvenile justice and better supporting young people and their families, and heavily based on collaborations with community partners, but also rethinking alternatives to detention. How can we serve young people better than incarceration, and also our efforts on addressing the inequities in the juvenile justice system. So I didn't land on that path by mistake. As a young person myself, I struggled, and I didn't have the supports around me that I really needed. And one thing I realized through my trajectory, my career, the research tells us that one of the biggest resiliency factors in young people is positive support. Having one adult that really cares about you and invests in you and helps you get through. And so that's really what led me to Girl Scouts. I've always been a champion of all things girl power. I have a daughter, a girl mom, she's 9, who is selling those delicious cookies that you're there, similar. But really thinking about what I wanted my next chapter to be about and wanting to work directly in the community, because our society is built on us as a community helping each other get through this life, especially for young people. Adolescence is hard and they need all of us. And so this was an awesome opportunity for me to be more on the prevention side, to focus on what the girls really need so that they never come into the juvenile justice system. And so the impact that Girl Scouts can have. Our mission, very close to yours, is all about supporting young people, but building girls of courage, confidence, and character. We all need those traits. Yes, okay. So how about this? Is that better, my friends online? Okay, thank you, did. So really building girls of courage, confidence, and character, because we all need that, but especially girls. And I know the ladies in the room know that being a girl can be hard sometimes. And so our girls really need us. And what Girl Scouts offers, in addition to the traditional kind of things you think about with troop, and we love to camp and do all kinds of outdoorsy stuff, and we have a ton of fun activities for our girls. But I'll tell you a little bit about my daughter's experience. So watching her as a baby, as a kindergartner in Girl Scouts, was the first year that she was in Girl Scouts, and she was selling cookies, which is this amazing tool, just so you all know, that helps fund all their activities throughout the year. Really teaches them business skills and confidence and so many things. But her first year selling, she was terrified. I took her out. She was literally hiding behind me, and I'd have to like peel her off of my leg. And to see her 2 years fast forward, this year, she takes such pride in being a Girl Scout. She loves it. And she's developed a sisterhood with her other sisters in her troop. She sold over 1,000 boxes of cookies this year. So she's very close to her goal of 1,250 boxes. So if anybody wants to help her with her goal, tell you how to do that. And I encourage you too, when you're out there buying cookies, ask the girls, because that's part of it. They all have goals. So for her, her individual goal was to earn a trip to Six Flags. And that she's made it to that goal. But she also, her troop, they want to give back to the community by buying enrichment toys for the animals at the Reed Park Zoo. And they also want to go on a camping trip to one of our properties. Girl Scouts has a couple properties in town, one up on Mount Lemon, Camp Whispering Pines, that I know I met somebody here that was like a part of helping us pave the road. Who was that? I know somebody I talked to about. Yeah, somebody was like an instrumental factor in that. And then we have the Hacienda, which is a day camp facility over on the east side. So being involved in Girl Scouts just has so many opportunities. And a couple things that you may not know that Girl Scouts do is that we have staff supported programs too. And this is how I was connected to them in my previous role. So we have programs that go and meet girls in juvenile detention and facilitate there. We also have staff that run groups that keep girls connected to their incarcerated moms. So to take them to visit their moms.
We run troops in schools where there might be social and economic barriers that the girls otherwise wouldn't be able to participate. So our staff act as troop leaders. So just wanted you guys to know of a few things that we're not always so known for. I was also asked to think about how Girl Scouts looks different than it did before. We were founded in 1912 here in Arizona in 1935. So the world looks a lot different than it did. Women's roles are different now. Our role in the job force is different, but what has not changed is our volunteers' commitment. We have many working moms like me that manage their careers, but also are so committed to being there for their girls and for our community. And our girls need us now more than ever. It's a changing world. It's hard to be a young person. I know you all are familiar with the work that you do, but cyberbullying, social media, all the pressures that young people have now that they didn't have before. So they need us. So my call to all of you, if you're interested in partnering with Girl Scouts, there's a variety of ways you can do that. We are a nonprofit, so we're always looking for donors to help support our mission. You can also support your local Girl Scouts with buying cookies. They're out there until March 13th, and then the cookie program ends for the year. And just so you know too, if you don't want to buy cookies yourself or for your family, you can donate them. We do huge donations to our troops, to our heroes. So locally, we donate cookies to our healthcare heroes, fire department, our law enforcement, and then we send them abroad too, to our military. So I know someone in my own family received cookies when he was in Iraq and talked about how meaningful that was to him. We get letters from soldiers saying that's the only mailer they receive while they're on their tour. So this year alone, we've already raised, we've already had donations for over 23,000 boxes to go to heroes. So pretty phenomenal stuff. Again, thank you so much. I've had the pleasure of working with all of you on a few occasions, just have so much respect for what you all do. I agree with what Bob said. I think it would be an awesome partnership for Girl Scouts and the Catalina Rotary Club, or however that looks, either somebody from their council to be a member of the Rotarians or for us to partner in other ways. If you are interested in buying cookies, I can share a link, or if you want to donate, I can share a link to the Bobs and they can send it out. Or if you're interested in donations, you can let me know about that too. I just encourage you, my ask is to share the information that I told you today with your circles, with your friends. Tell them Girl Scouts, we are still out there. We are evolving. We have the same mission that you all have to serve our young people in the community, but also we have diversity, equity, and inclusion at the forefront of everything we do. So we're connected with you in that way as well. Thank you for your time, and thank you for adjusting your schedules today. That's why I brought you a cookie. So please enjoy. And I'm not taking any of those with me, so they're all yours. Enjoy. Thank you so much.
What questions?
It's a little bit out of order, but yeah, if you have any questions also on Zoom, you know.
Hi, Zoom.
Anybody have any questions, please ask them now.
So you said 5,000 members in Southern Arizona?
Yes, just in our council. So Arizona actually has 2 Girl Scout councils. We're in the southern 7 counties, and then Arizona Cactus Pine has everything north of us.
So you said 2,500 girls, and the rest of the guys?
3,500 girl members, the rest are adults. Most of our adult members are women, but we do have male troop leaders too.
Thank you very much. That was a great presentation. And one of the things I wanted to share with you is that we are considering doing a mentorship project with kids who are youth, who are in the Boys and Girls Club, all across the different places. And this focus in mentoring was going to kind of begin with making resumes, helping them to pull their experiences together, put it down on paper, have something that when they do go for a job or go to college or whatever it is they're doing, even if they just thought about it, is there something that the Girl Scouts do that are like that?
That's a great question. I'm actually so glad you brought that up, and the partnership with the Boys and Girls Club. It was Boys and Girls Club, right? Yes. So we definitely see them as a partner as well. And so a variety, and this is another way that you could donate your expertise to the Girl Scouts. So we have different conferences, we have different events where we ask people to come in and teach our girls the things they know, whether it's about resume building, financial literacy. So troops themselves can work on things like that, but those are also things that events that our staff put on. I don't know of anything currently in the works for resume building, but I know that's heavily when we talk about, we serve girls all the way to 17. And so when we talk about our older girls and helping them transition to adulthood, those are the focuses for those girls.
Maybe you would share with Bob the links or people to contact if
Absolutely.
we in fact move forward with this kind of thing. I've got the mic. Who is next?
Got the power.
Yeah.
And you gave it up.
Yeah, girl power.
You probably get this question everywhere you go. So how has the Boy Scout connection with girls affected your organization?
We do get that question. I get it pretty frequently. I will say that we, although when the organization started out, they were definitely, the founders knew one another and they were modeled after one another, but we are very separate organizations. We have decided to be gender specific and to remain in that space. We will not be having Boys and Girl Scouts, but we're still doing that in an inclusive way. We welcome anyone who identifies as a girl. And so, and even our Girl Scouts that are maybe transitioning and taking a different journey, we will support them in an individual way. But been trying to be pretty clear that we are a very separate organization and we are the premier organization for girls. We have been primarily and always committed to girls. So that's our space.
Okay, any other questions? Oh, Anita.
I just want to say, believe it or not, I was a Girl Scout mom and did the camping and all that kind of good stuff and sold cookies. And of course, you keep the rest of them in your freezer because you can't quite sell them all. But, you know, so I just want to acknowledge that. And that, you know, I had a friend contact me from Florida selling Girl Scout cookies to a friend. So if going online and buying the cookies, you can do that and they'll be delivered right to your door. So that's on that link that you have, right?
Right.
And it's wonderful. So you can buy as many as you like. And the other thing is, I don't know if all of you remember that our dear friend Adela Allen served on the Girl Scout board. And I just wanted to, she has since left us, but that was a very dear organization to her.
Thank you so much. And thank you so much for your commitment to our girls and for serving as a volunteer. I know it's a lot of work and we so appreciate you.
All right, I think we have a couple more questions. Joanne, I'm going to turn it over to you if you can unmute yourself.
Yes, hi, thank you. I come from a long line of scouting in my family. Is that a weird echo happening? Okay, sorry. Anyway, my question has to do with the, I'm confused about if girls can join Boy Scouts, but it sounds like from what you just said that boys cannot join Girl Scouts. Am I incorrect in that? I'm confused about who can join who because they're all trying to be inclusive, but I'm not sure about Boy Scouts. Are they still just for boys? You know, I've lost the sound now. I'm not hearing you.
Great question. I don't know. I always think it's so that I can have one and my fiance can have the other. Like we just split the box. Like
That's close. That's close because I used to keep them in the freezer and each sleeve was a breakfast with cold milk.
I'm with you. I fully support
I
that.
can't do that anymore.
I liked that question.
All right. And I think that is all the time we have now. I think there was a couple of questions maybe on Zoom. So maybe if you want to type them in and we can follow up with you. But Angie, thank you so much for joining us today. If we can give Angie a round of applause.
And I'll leave some information about Girl Scouts in my business card. So if anybody has follow-up questions. All right. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you. You're welcome.
So if no one's gonna take those cookies, I'm gonna steal them all. So please take those. So Angie, thank you so much. I know you're pressed for time, so we certainly understand if you have to step away, but just know, and I think you're familiar enough with us that the eradication of polio is kind of our organization's largest mission for Rotary International. So in your honor, just as a thank you for joining us, we're going to have make a donation to the foundation to vaccinate 25 children. Is that right, Andy? Against the polio vaccine. So thank you so much for joining us and really appreciate you. Don't be a stranger, like Bob said. You know, maybe we can fit one of these badges to your name. They're pretty flexible with things here. So hopefully you can join us sometime soon. All right. Thank you. All right. So back to the beginning. Obviously, I've gone a little bit out of order. So I'm going to start things off again by seeing if we have any visiting Rotarians or any guests that are joining us here today. And sorry, I've got the mic.
I would love to introduce to all of you my seatmate for today, Jack Damon, from a great Rotary Club in Colorado, one of the oldest Rotary clubs like ours, of the second club variety. He has been a Rotarian for only 59 years.
Oh my gosh.
Jack?
Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm a member of the Broadmoor District Rotary Club in Colorado Springs.
Okay.
And have been there almost going on 60 years. But one of your members, Peter Pritz, his dad was a member of a Rotary Club, so I was hoping to see Peter here today, but tell him hi from me, please.
Well, we definitely will. Thank you for joining us. All right. Any other visiting Rotarians or any guests? No.
Yes, I'd like to introduce my friend and your friend, Tom Eef from Rincon Rotary Club, formerly Catalina Rotary Club member several years ago, and ex-Marine, has a great wife, lovely wife named Taffy, and his son-in-law went to Ole Miss.
Thank you, by the way, never an ex-Marine, always a former Marine. The Rotary is the best gig of any fundraiser in Tucson. I've been doing it 15 years. It's just a great event, and I'm so glad it was so successful this year. Thank you.
Well, thanks for joining us. I think that's all the guests we have today. So we do have a nice, nicely packed house, but there's always room for more for you on Zoom. If you want to join us, we'd love to have you here. So let me see. I'm going to get to some announcements. I think there is a flyer on your tables, and I'm not sure, have you all seen that? And it's slipping my mind who kind of brought that out. Arturo, do you have that? Would you mind just giving us a quick rundown of that? I don't know where the mic went now.
Thank you, Jimmy. Bug Mountain, we had one of their Rotarians join us over the rodeo weekend or rodeo week. Ralph Harding, he was here helping us with our beer sales. And he asked that we kind of promote his show, his fundraiser, which is Friday, March 18th. It's a casino night. I plan on being there. I'm taking Maria with me. So hopefully some of you will join us as well.
And are those tickets being sold? Do you register online? How's that?
I believe he's got some on, I don't know the exact answer, but he's got it in here. They're available online.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Well, it should be a good time. And I think this is first year they're doing it again. Is that right? Yeah. Yeah. So again, it's kind of a weird thing, but okay. Thank you, Arturo.
Michael, you had an announcement, right, about possible upcoming event?
Yeah, that's right. We're gonna have our rodeo thank you party as well as our monthly gathering. It's gonna be this end of this month. We're gonna nail down the date here shortly. It's gonna be at Locale on Alvernon and Broadway. And it's also gonna be a bocce tournament as well with a $25 buy-in for teams. And we haven't figured out how it's gonna be split yet, but yeah. So high stakes game. Yes. Do you have $25? I'll teach you. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll pay $25 if you can explain to me what bocce is. Maybe that's
There's a lot of balls, a lot of balls, a lot of balls. Cricket, yeah, you can do, Tom can do cricket. But look for an
Italian
email.
shuffleboard.
We're gonna get it out to you guys. The club might be sponsoring part of it as well, from what I've heard. And so it's gonna be a good time. There'll be food and drinks and a friendly tournament.
Perfect. Okay, great. So stay tuned for some more information on there. And so just a reminder there, our last week is usually when we get together for more of a social hour rather than the traditional meeting structure we have here. So we're going to partner that up this month with a little bit of an appreciation to all our rodeo volunteers. So yeah, Pat.
When you get ready for the bocce tournament, the first annual, you gotta pick somebody to throw the ball to. You have the 2-member team, so if you're competing. So it's going to cost your team $50, but the money will go to to be spent as the board decides whether the winners get anything or whether it all goes to the club. But you got to so start thinking now who's coordinated enough to throw the ball from one end of a bocce court to the other.
Uniforms, team names, songs,
Whatever.
TV, okay.
I imagine this guy is open. I'm just his gopher.
Might want to make people pay more if they don't do a song and dance as part of
No
the
nudes.
routine. So,
No
okay.
nudes.
All right. So we'll keep an ear out or eye out for that, Michael. So thanks for putting that together. Should be a good time. And I hear the facilities are great. So thank you for arranging that. Let me see here. So we're going to have, it's a little bit of a eclectic meeting. I don't know, a little bit of an odd meeting. So we've gone a little bit out of order. So appreciate your patience with that. I'm going to have Irv talk here a little bit and give a breakdown. I'm sure a lot of you are excited to hear how everything went. So I'm going to turn it over to you, Irv, if that's all right. All right.
I have to have Andy up here because he did the numbers. And hey, Bobby D, can you hear me? I wish you were here so you can do this. You know, let me just start by saying I was very apprehensive that we would have trouble staffing this because of COVID and not knowing how it would pan out. And bottom line is we did a great job, a lot of volunteers, everybody who volunteered, a number of people multiple times. Some people were there 4 or 5 times. I don't want to miss anybody, so I'm not going to thank people individually. Just let you know that it worked out great. We had sufficient help every day. I think Bobby D can tell you he put on at least 25 miles during that time, right, Bob? Yeah, and I only put on 20 because I made him do more walking than I did. But the bottom line is, and Andy's got the numbers here, our part of the proceeds from the beer sales, $26,432. Our net profit on the water was $3,852, and we had $10,468 in tips. Now, I have to say something specific about the tip, and I have to, I already talked to him about it. Her daughter, Michelle, was the best person I've ever seen over the years getting tips. I worked with Michelle in one booth, and I mean, she's such a bubbly personality. So I made sure that she took the money from any of the young guys. And when she gave them change, it was like this. And she was pulling it back as they were trying to take it. And with a nice smile, she's explaining it's going to charity and can I put a couple of dollars in the tip thing and oh, 2 for you and 2 for us. And well, apparently there is somebody that can challenge Michelle in ability, and I don't know who it was, but one booth had was it over 800?
810.
$810 in tips.
One day.
So my thought was it had to be somebody that was trained by Michelle Craig. Was it Rita? Yeah. All right, then we'll have to send a special thank you to Rita. So that's the bottom line on the beer sales. I think this was a record. It was amazing how many people had actually shown up. It was like all of a sudden I could be outside and have a bunch of fun, and it was packed. So anyways, my personal thanks to everybody who worked, especially the supervisors that were there with me and Bob. It's not the easiest thing in the world to herd the cats, as you so to speak, trying to make sure everybody has enough change, enough beer, enough ice. But again, I want to thank everybody who participated, and hopefully next year, maybe we can make even more money. Now, before I turn it over to Andy, Bob and I came up with a new rule. It's called, remember the rule, Bob? The rule of 140? Yeah, the rule of 140. If any two people's age who are supervisors add up to 140 or more, they don't have to be supervisors anymore. Did I get it right, Bob? All right, Andy.
Don't leave her. Don't leave her. Bob, I'm sorry that you're not here with us today. Hope you're enjoying Los Angeles out there. But to our two co-chairs, there has to be a way to say thank you for all that they did over these 10 days. This is a beer event. What better way to thank somebody for a beer event than to invoke the 4-way beer test? Is it ice cold? Is there enough for all concerned? Will it build good times and much better friendships? Can it get any better than this? With that, I have 2 cozies for Irv and 2 more for Bob when he gets back.
Well, that was amazing. So now forgive me for doing this. I might have just be bad with numbers. Did we get the grand total in?
The grand total for this year, $40,754.24.
So for those on Zoom, so if anybody knows a manufacturer, we're gonna make the cozies.
Russell Hampton.
The koozies to sell.
Russell Hampton.
All right, so it's
In
in-house.
volume.
So hopefully we can sell those next year. That'll be and Michelle's gonna be available, right, Em? All right, good. So, and Rita, I'm sure. Okay, great. Well, thank you so much. That is like unbelievable news. I'm sure that there's a lot of pent up kind of demand for the rodeo. It's good to have it back. And obviously, I'm sure the rodeo committee appreciated having the club there and all our volunteers to help make it a good event. And obviously, it was mutually beneficial. So I'm really happy that everything went well. And I guess, yeah, it's good to be on this side of things and for it to have been a success as well. So I'm going to move over then. Are there any other announcements?
I have a question.
Oh, okay, I'm going to call on Barb because I know that there's it's the first of the month for us, and there's a little bit of involvement there with the rodeo. So if we can get Barb the mic, where did that go? Oh,
Kat, thank you. Okay, I am just listening to all this stuff with the rodeo. I tell you, I spent most of the days out at the rodeo, which is my first. Because usually I volunteer for a weekend or for a day and I sell beer. But this time I got to go early each morning with my bag liners because we gave every booth a box that said, recycle your cans here for healthy kids. And we relined every one of those boxes and I got a chance to talk with every one of you who volunteered and those people I didn't even know and say, hey, just invite those cowboys to enjoy that beer and bring it back at the end and recycle it and we'll give you another one. By the way, I'm stealing Joanne Westerman's line because then they said, for free? And Joanne says, no, for $5. Thank you, Joanne, for that. Anyway, everybody got up with their own line and every day we went home looking like bag ladies that you would not believe. We got trolleys, we've got luggage carriers. And today I'm going to go recycle the last of your cans. So if you have cans, and by the way, thank you, BJ, for being the can man of this whole place. It was an amazing thing. In fact, BJ, if I'm not mistaken, it was your idea to go to the rodeo, right? And somebody said, hey, there are cans there. Let's pick up cans there. And I'm not going to come back to you and tell you that this was the easiest job, but this was an amazing job to look at all of those volunteers bringing back those things. And I want to mention that we've got some volunteers from the Tucson Verde Club. And we also had from Western Passport. I mean, we had people I didn't even know, and they came and they went around and picked up cans and recycled them. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I want to go half a leg up for all of the volunteers in this room and everywhere that helps. So thank you, thank you. I'll bring you back to the numbers next time.
great. Thank you, Barbara. Yeah, we're excited to hear what those final tally will be. This is our last collection. So yeah, BJ, I think you have enough to build your own. Wait, sorry, hold on. Oh, Joanne has a comment.
Yeah, hi. I just wanted to say about the koozies. We had a guy that showed up on Sunday and just a customer, and he had a bag full of koozies for his company. And he wanted us to put them on the counter. And I thought, well, they didn't sponsor rodeo. I'm not sure the beer guys that approve of this. So I kind of looked the other way and they put a pile of them up there. Those things went so fast. And so we started saying, okay, $2 in the can for a koozie. And so we got a few tips based on this guy's free koozies. And if we make some up for next year, we can add that to our water sales and make quite a bit more money. I'll guarantee it.
All right. So an ex-banker or former banker is coming up with new ideas, and then we've got a banker raising money now. So I'm in good company. So great. All right. And then I guess the last thing to piggyback on the rodeo itself. So as you all know, we have a fantastic PR committee here in our club. So they've put out a lot of good content, videos, Instagram, you name it, we have it in regards to social media as a way to promote our club. So I know I've seen a few pictures going around and things like that. So I would ask all of you to take a look at your phones, and if you're able to put something together for our PR committee to be able to promote the club and all the good things that we're doing, please keep Tony et al. In mind. I don't know if Tony, if there's anything else you would like to add to that?
That's a great idea. And I would say.
Gotcha. All right. So Steve. So just get in touch with one of us in terms of if you want to put something together so we can.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
If anybody has photos from the rodeo that they want to share, please send them to me or to Steve. We'll get them up the top there.
Perfect. All right. Well, any other announcements? If not, I will turn things over to Pablo for the Queen of Hearts.
All right. First is first. Rule 140. I was supervisor first this year, so that's not going to apply to me for a long time. But it's all good. It was fun. It was fun. And I think I walked. That is true. I mean, it's gonna be like pretty up there, like 100 years old. Do we have a 100-year-old Rotarian here? All right. We're up to 1,660 for the Queen of Hearts. And the person who won the chance to win the Queen of Hearts only bought one ticket. So don't be dissuaded. Sorry, Andy, not this time. Frank, you got it. All right, Frank.
Yes.
The Three of Hearts. All right, guys. I don't know. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, quite a bit. So Michael, not until I don't know, a couple more months until you can start playing. All right, well, still buy is going to be online. When I'm here, or Bob, you could give us money and I'll just put in your physical tickets in. So either way, there should really be no reason for you guys to partake and, try to win some money. That's it. I'm done.
There's 3 cards left, Michael. So next time, just start. It's always 3. All right, great. Well, we will move on to our Sergeant at Arms. And again, just given the structure of the meeting today, I'm going to dispense with the normal protocol. So I'll start things off. And Irv, if I can get you on the can, I'm going to start a couple of things here. First, this is a topic that was brought to me by Irv, and so hence the honor of carrying around the can. So I want to say it's been a few months ago. We became involved with ShelterBox. So ShelterBox, for those of you that don't know, is an organization that has close ties to Rotary that essentially puts together goods, services that go around to different parts of the country, of the world, really. And so recently they had a call to action with regards to everything that's going on in Eastern Europe for a call for Rotarians to be able to participate in putting together shelter boxes for all the people that are in need. Obviously, we've all seen the news and everything that's going on there is being well publicized. So it's obvious that there's a growing demand for charity, really. And so Irv had approached me, as he usually does, with his generous heart about the club becoming a hero. Now, for you all might remember, we did that. We've already been recognized. Or Catalina Rotary is well known for all the generous support that's been given over the years, and it's particular to the last program that ShelterBox had. And so there's a new Become a Hero program that's recently started. And there's different levels of recognition or of commitment from different organizations. And so Irv had the idea of, hey, let's do it again. We can do it again. Obviously, there's a huge need for that. So why don't we try to rally the troops and get some money raised for these folks? So there are 3 different levels of the ShelterBox recognitions of becoming a hero. There's bronze, silver, and gold. And Irv doesn't aim low. He shoots for the stars, if you will. And so the highest level is gold. And so there's a $5,000 goal that can be reached. And obviously that's a lot of money, and especially kind of given the time of the year with Uncle Sam wanting his pretty soon. Maybe it's something that you all can take into consideration. But as an incentive, Irv graciously offered to match $2,500 of those funds raised. So Irv, thank you so much for, I think you did a similar thing last go around. So thank you again. So I'm going to start things off by throwing in, and this is going to, just for clarification, this is for our club. So the way that it'll function, Andy, is we'll have the funds go into our club's foundation, not for Rotary International. So it'll just go to our club's foundation. And from there, we'll designate these funds, whatever's received, and then send ShelterBox the funds for this particular project. Yep, question. Any other questions? Yeah, Kirk. Yes. All right. So I've started look. All right. Well, I like the energy with which you stood up there, Kirk. That was good.
All right, I'd like to make $100 donation in honor of my church's playing the Ukrainian national anthem at worship last week. It was very moving. We had a Ukrainian member who said the words in their language and translated it. Then we all stood up for the national anthem. So there's a kickoff gift for Shelter Box.
Perfect. Well, thank you, Kirk.
Next.
Oh, wait.
I'll join you, Kirk, with a leg up. My wife, Helena, still has family in Poland, so they're not directly impacted yet, but as you quite imagine, they're all concerned about Russian expansionism, and so let's hope we can nip this in the bud. So I'll go a leg up as well.
Great. Thank you, Steve. Or Barbara?
Ditto.
All right.
2,500? Okay, we got
All
four
right.
dittos.
We got 4 dittos.
5 dittos.
5.
6?
Yeah, I'll go a leg up, and I want to do it in honor of my my new lady friend Rose, who I've been spending time with, and she's a Polish immigrant, and she'll be at the meeting as my guest next week. But go a leg up.
Great. Thanks, Pete.
Okay, we're gonna
250.
make it official.
Wow.
We're gonna 250? 100? Matt? 100? Anita? 250? Okay, so Anita matches 250. Tony? 100? BJ? Irv.
I can also get a match from my company, but I have to give it straight to the destination organization. Can I work that out with you to basically, okay. To
Look at that.
basically quadruple it if I give my money. If that's the case, I'll do 250 as well and then do 250 from Equitable.
Wow. Great. Yes, there's some folks in hands online, so I will, let's see, Pam, if you want to unmute yourself.
I'd like to give 500.
All right. And then Joanne, is your hand
I'll go
still raised? Or?
100. I'll go $100.
All
Leg
right,
up.
great, Joanne. Bob Stoft, I think you're raising your hand there.
Unmute. Unmute.
You're still muted there.
Oh.
100.
You're number 1. We got it. Thank you. All right, Sharon.
Chester's will give 300 and Liz will give 100.
Wow, thank you so much. Thank you both.
I'm in for 100 as well.
Thank you, Joan. All right, I don't know. I think it would be wise to take a tally here.
Oh, Andy is.
Andy, you need another pen? All right, wait.
100. Did you want to say something, Jack? No? Okay.
I bought several.
Thank you.
That's great. Well, while Andy's tabulating things, I don't know, Anita, maybe you want to give us a sample of the polka dancing? I don't know if
Okay,
Wow.
going once. And I'm going, I'll do 500.
Oh, wow. Okay, this is an amazing thing that you started here. So this is something that, wow, just on the spot, we're calling on Catalina Rotarians. And you got them all,
Okay.
Andy?
Pablo's there for 100.
Just remember the checks that take it out to the Catalina Rotary Foundation.
I didn't hear that. Give us the logistics for those not in person.
Right. So for those of you online, the checks need to be made to the Catalina Rotary Foundation. So please send those in to Andy's address, or hopefully we can see you here and you can deliver them in person next week. So if you have any questions, just type it in the chat there and we'll get addresses for you if need be. All right, well, we're tabulating things. I think, Tony, you had, so this is Sergeant at Arms time. So any happy bucks that folks want to share?
I'll throw in a couple of happy bucks here, handful or so, for a couple of causes. One, in addition to what Catalina Rotary Foundation is doing, I don't know how many of you saw the email from RI, but they have started a relief fund for the refugees. I assume they're going to distribute the funds through Rotary clubs in the area, but on rotary.org, there is a link to take Rotary Foundation contributions from the memberships and get them directly to Ukrainian relief. So I put a leg up into that yesterday, and I hope y'all will follow suit, because that's neat. That kind of help is needed as well.
Right.
The other happy buck I have, I don't know how many of you saw me share the post on Facebook, but this week, Youth on Their Own was awarded an Angel Charity Grant.
Wow, I did see that news.
That's really big news. Joan and I are weekly volunteers for them, and a number of you have bought tickets to fundraising lunches and whatnot. So that's a big deal. I'm sure it's going to go a long way towards their new building, and I'll reach out to Bethany or Elizabeth and see if we can get an update from them on what they plan to do with the angel money, and whether there's room for Catalina to step in and lend a hand with the new building as well. So I don't know what the figure is. It's usually on the order of 50,000 or more.
That's great. All right, Andy. So happy bucks or us another.
Happy bucks and a report.
And a report.
Hold on.
Oh, wait.
Happy bucks and a report. The report is we are gold standard.
Oh, wow.
Shelter box people at $5,300. So that'll be pretty impressive. The other are happy bucks. I spent a beautiful weekend last week in Los Angeles with Anita McDonald, our district governor-elect, and 400 some odd of our Rotary friends at the president-elect training. And it was a wonderful time, very meaningful. And I look forward to harassing all of you as a result of it.
Thank you, Andy.
Okay. And while I've got the mic, I'm going to
All
go
right.
next. I want to actually echo what Barbara said about our rodeo leadership, Irv and Bob. And in recognition of them and all the volunteers and the amazing work, I'm going to give $100 to our Catalina Foundation.
Wow. Thank you, Bob.
And I actually challenge everyone else to consider doing that. I mean,
Great.
a lot of work is involved. It's just amazing.
I just want to put a happy buck in the can for Jack at our table, visiting from Colorado, shared with us that he's been in Rotary for 60 years. So
Yeah.
close to 60, that's close enough. So anyway, I just wanted to say welcome, and we're just happy to have you here.
That's great.
Thanks
Good to
for
have you
coming back.
back. Are there any folks, I think Bob, you're number 4 now?
Look, I know I've
Is it
figured out
working?
how to
I think I see
unmute
it working now,
myself,
Steve.
and I know that that's unhappy for most of you.
Okay.
I wanted to report that on the 21st of February, my body turned 83 years old. And shortly before that, my knee turned 6 weeks old. So I've got a new right knee, and I hope in about 4 months I'll be able to use the damn thing. But I got to go a leg up for a new knee, and hopefully a few more years. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Bob. All right, I think, Joanne, I'm not sure if that's your old hand or like, not your old hand, your
That's my
previous
old
hand. Okay, I'll turn it
And
over.
I have another one that looks just like it. So yeah, that's my old hand.
Yeah, me there. All right, Pam,
I want to let you know that Anita led one of the sessions at Southwest Pets on education, and developing new leaders. And she and her speaker absolutely knocked it out of the park. She was the very first session and it was absolutely outstanding, and she did us proud. So happy box for Anita and her great job.
Here we go, Anita.
Oh, gosh, I can't win, can I? So thank you very much, Pam and Andy. I have a leg up. First of all, I was thinking about the disaster relief, so I made it out to the Foundation for Disaster Relief for Rotary International, and but I did that on behalf of yes, I did a great job, but there were all sorts of people that helped me. I would not have had the wonderful speaker that I had if it had not been for Maria Elena, who through God, I lost his name now. Oh, no, I got his name, but that connected us. But anyway, yes, Buckley connected us. But anyway, Richard Carranza was the speaker representing us. And what was so wonderful, the topic was education, empowering the next generation of diverse leaders. And he is a Tucson native. He was principal at Pueblo High School when the CE Rose students were graduating. And so there were all sorts of wonderful connections, and he did just a super job. So Maria Elena, thank you for making all that happen. And then of course, I didn't realize I had to do a hospitality, and it's in LA. So anyway, there was this caravan going over. And so Andy and Pam both took things over, goods and plastics and whatever. And then they brought back the liquor that was left over. And so I don't know what we'll figure out what to do with that, but I couldn't. and Andy and Pam were both wonderful, wonderful bartenders and greeters. And of course, they're personal friends of Jennifer Jones, and the opportunity for every one of our president-elects to meet Jennifer Jones was just wonderful. And so it was a great weekend. And I what can I say? And I thank everyone who helped me to pull that off.
So like many of you, Cindy and I sold beer at the rodeo. We had a great time. We both ruined our nails. I had a full leg up, but I didn't get my nails done. The other half leg went to Cindy to get her nails done. So there's a half leg.
We got Michael over here.
I have some happy bucks left over from taking my kid. I made it back from taking my kids skiing, all three of them, and we made it. And the person or the engineer who designed the Salt Lake City Airport, I don't think had kids.
Salt Lake? Are you sure?
Oh, yeah, you'd think, but no, joke's on you. To go like a walk a mile with three kids and up, down, sideways, back around, then back out to the other terminal, all by walking. It's
a practical joke, I guess.
Yeah, and there's no bar in between either. So you couldn't stop. You couldn't do anything.
It's a cruel airport there.
Very cruel.
Thank you, Michael.
I'd like to say it gets easier, Michael, but it doesn't.
All right. Any other happy bucks?
I got one.
If
Can
not,
you hear
I
me?
think there's one more thing.
Okay. Guess not.
I want to thank everybody for their generosity, but as you're thinking about unintended consequence of things that are happening, and Merrill, if I'm wrong in what I'm saying, please correct me, but Ukraine being one of the largest exporter of wheats in the world, soy, corn, the inflation in food prices is going to start flowing through the system very quickly. As you think about other organizations that are going to need help, especially locally, I would encourage you all to think about the local community food bank. And did I get the statistics semi-close, Merrill? Thumbs up.
All right, Irv. Well, think it need not be said, but certainly you are a model Rotarian in your generosity. And so thank you so much for initiating this shelter box project and for really inspiring all of us to participate. And so that was so quick, quickly met. So we'll have some more information. We've been in touch with the shelter box folks previously, so hopefully we can have them back here soon to give us a little update on how things are going. But with all that said, I guess yes. Oh, sorry. Andrew.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
All right. That was a great ending there. I'm sorry I interrupted. I was trying to give some Hackabee bucks for my my youngest of 4 turning 3 next week.
All right.
Yeah.
The terrible 3s, followed by the terrible 4s and 5s. I
Yeah.
think you were right, Tom. Yeah.
All the way up to terrible.
Wish a happy birthday. Yeah. All right. Well, I want to say thank you. Well, Angie's not here, but she left some gifts. So it sounds like if you need some goodies to take home with you, there are some there. I want to thank Bob and Steve for manning the booth here and getting us online. And Jeff, I don't think I say it enough, but I know you put a lot of effort and time into putting us on the YouTube. So thank you for doing that. And lastly, I just want to say how impressed I am. While the rodeo was going on, there were a lot of emails and updates getting exchanged, and really throughout many days and all times of the day. I know Pablo was just mentioning an 8 o'clock exit there, just counting the money on one of the days. So obviously there's a lot of time commitment and generosity and hard work, and that incorporates a lot of our Catalina Rotarians, but then fellow Rotarians. So thank you so much for joining us. I know you mentioned that you've been doing it for 15 years and you've enjoyed it. I want to know who that person is that you've been sitting with for the 15 years, because I think we can have an exception to the rule of 140, just have them be the supervisor, maybe incorporate you sometimes. So anyway, there's a lot of folks that have been supportive. So please pass along our thank you to Rita and Vivi. I think there's a lot of folks out there. So Mike will keep us in the loop there of when we can more formally show our thanks to all of you. So with that said, I'd like to close the meeting by reciting the 4-way test of the things we think, say, and do. All right. First, is it the truth? Second, is it fair to all concerned? Third, will it build goodwill and better friendships? And fourth, will it be beneficial to all concerned? Thanks, everybody.